Welcome to the 6th episode of Ultimate Overview, a show where we go over each item in Fortnite and explain its strengths, weaknesses, and its role in the game today. My name is Jackson, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the multivariate boomy boy, the grenade launcher. On launch, the grenade launcher came in rare through legendary, dealing 100, 105, and 110 damage. Just like the grenade item, which we did a video recently on here, the grenade launcher's projectiles exploded after 3 seconds and dealt heavy structure damage. Unlike the item form, however, the grenade launcher used rocket ammo, meaning that refilling its reserves was much easier, especially since most players in the mid and end games would usually have 2 or more rockets on them from ammo boxes or floor loot or whatever. During Chapter 1, the grenade launcher would receive texture changes to its model and projectiles during Christmas and Easter, swapping to the snowball launcher and egg launcher respectively. At the time, these variants functioned roughly the same, only slightly different since the circular snowballs and egg-shaped eggs bounced a little differently than the pill-shaped grenades, but realistically they always worked the same. That all changed though, starting in Chapter 2 Season 1 vaulted the grenade launcher, like most things that were in Season X. However, in Update 11.30, the snowball launcher was unvaulted. This time, the snowball launcher worked a bit differently than the grenade launcher, with its snowballs detonating on impact rather than after a set time. Something that you need to keep in mind is that this thing was still dealing 100 plus damage per shot, with the exception of its new uncommon variant dealing 95 damage. Essentially, this thing was a 6-round rocket launcher at close ranges, meaning it was super annoying to fight. I remember distinctly during Chapter 2 Season 1 pulling up to fights only to get half of my mats drained because I had to endure 18 snowballs per player, one after the other at the start of every fight. The snowball launcher wouldn't be vaulted until the third update of version 11.31, a full 27 days after its unvaulting with no adjustments. I mean, you got this thing as floor loot, in chests, and all the time in presents, so it's not like you could avoid it. No wonder so many people gave up on this season. Anyway, the only other time the grenade launcher came back in any way during Chapter 2 was in Season 6 as the egg launcher, being unvaulted in Update 16.10 and then re-vaulted 9 days later. It wouldn't return to the game until
and beyond!
finally, after over 4 years, the grenade launcher received its first major nerf. In Chapter 3 Season 1's Winter's Fest update, the snowball launcher was unvaulted, nerfing its damage from 95, 100, 105, and 110 to 48, 50, 53, and 55. This was a huge nerf, and definitely one for the better, though I'm curious as to why this received such quick nerfs while some other things did not. Regardless, after Winterfest was over, the regular grenade launcher was unvaulted, now firing grenades that detonate after one bounce. The regular GL got nerfed too, now sitting at 70, 74, and 77 damage, which I think is still very strong, but given that it's a pretty rare item, I think it's fine. Anyhow, Chapter 3 Season 2 vaulted the grenade launcher, with the egg launcher getting unvaulted in Content Update 20.10, with identical changes to the regular GL with the exception of the one bounce detonation. The egg launcher didn't stay for long though, getting vaulted a week later. The seasonal GLs would be unvaulted at their respective times during Chapter 4. The snowball launcher was put in for a week during Season 1, and the egg launcher was added back for a week in Season 2. Season OG unvaulted the regular grenade launcher for the entire season, retaining its usual use cases from Chapter 1 while keeping its new statistics and bounce mechanics. Chapter 5 Season 1 would vault the grenade launcher, with the snowball launcher coming shortly after. The snowball launcher received a nerf from 6 shots to 4 and would remain in the game for most of December of 2023, being vaulted in a hotfix on January 2nd, marking the last time the GL or any of its variants were in the game. On the tier list, I'm going to put the grenade launcher in A tier, while I'll put the snowball launcher and egg launcher at B tier. The grenade launcher still serves as a high damage, easy to use explosive weapon, hence its A tier placement, but the snowball launcher and egg launcher just feel pretty situational now, other than for destroying builds. Anyhow, if y'all enjoyed everything this video had to offer, consider subscribing because it helps out a lot. The next video in this series is going to go over the machine SMG, so stay tuned for that soon. I've been Jackson, and this was Ultimate Overview. Thanks, guys. During Chapter 1, the grenade launcher received Checkster.